my goodness. I'm obsessed with these cookies.
I'm in. Chocolate crinkle cookies.
Everything
That's
chocolate all
Everything
the time.
chocolate.
Joining Cam at the counter is Ken and Shirley. You guys please dig in, and after one bite, I won't have to tell you to take another. They'll be finished very quickly. So before we even get started, can you tell people what a crinkle cookie is who may not know?
It's a super delicious,
yes,
obviously, chocolate cookie that's been rolled in powdered sugar, and then it gets these really beautiful cracks in it while it bakes.
But it's more than that, isn't it, Rebecca? It's almost like a lava cake. It has some sort of gooiness inside that you think that the cookie's not cooked, but it is.
You guys enjoying
It's
it?
Isn't it phenomenal? And it starts with really great chocolate and butter and a secret ingredient.
And espresso, because that really kicks up your chocolate flavor, which I love. I love to put chocolate and espresso together. So you melt these over a double boiler, and then as soon as it's cooled a tiny bit, you're going to put in, it's a super simple cookie, so it's just your wet ingredients, dry ingredients, nothing super complicated. So we're going to add in our eggs. Do you want to start stirring for us?
It doesn't seem like it's simple, though, because when you see these cookies,
they look not simple,
they
but they
look
are.
like they're really difficult to make, and I have to be honest, anytime I've seen these cookies, I always want one. I had no idea they're called crinkle cookies. Those lava cookies, they're so good.
Well, now you're going to make them all the time when you see how easy they are.
So good.
It's going to look a little sludge-like.
Okay.
Yes, but we're going to work through that. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll stir it up. Do you want me to stir it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to stir it really good. You want to make sure everything's mixed really well together.
Right.
And then we're going to fold in our dry ingredients, which is bread flour, unsweetened cocoa powder, baking soda, baking powder, and sea salt.
Bread flour.
Yeah, I love to put bread flour in cookies because it makes them chewy, and it gives them a nice lift to it.
Chewy.
Right? I know. It's one of my favorite things to do.
I'll mix it in there, and you can start stirring.
Okay. But did I miss where the espresso went in?
The espresso melted with the chocolate. So it's sitting in there with the butter and the chocolate.
We want to make sure we're getting our caffeine.
Want to make sure we're getting the caffeine and the sugar.
That's what I'm saying.
Chocolate doesn't have enough caffeine in it already.
That's right.
And I know that it's Valentine's Day, and we're making these for Valentine's Day, but you also customize these for Christmas.
Yes, I love to put peppermint extract and peppermint bark in them. And then you could even, to sort of amplify the espresso flavor, you could put chocolate-covered espresso beans, like chopped up. And that'd be so good.
Would you put anything like cranberries, like to make it a little more chewy, or no?
I'm sure you could put some. I would probably do dried fruit, like dried cherries or cranberries, something like that. So when I'm stirring dough, I like to stop, like when there's still streaks of flour, especially if you're going to rest the dough, because that flour will absorb back into the dough without making it too tough.
That's really good to know.
Yeah.
And I imagine, especially if you're using bread flour.
Yeah. Yes,
so
because bread flour wants you to make a tough cookie, so you've got to use a gentle hand with it.
That's very good to
know.
So
we're going to chill the dough for a little bit because it's a little sticky.
All right, how long would we chill it?
Let's chill it for like an hour or two.
All right, but it could be overnight, yeah?
Oh yeah, you can do it overnight.
So you would chill the dough and then you'd roll it into balls.
Yes.
Our refrigerator didn't do it by itself.
No,
That's a fancy.
It's amazing. You put something in there, it comes out completely different.
And then we're going to roll it in 2 types of sugar. So we're going to start with our granulated sugar.
Okay.
And then the key to making a really nice crackly crust is to coat it so heavily. Like you want a ridiculous amount, like a layer of granulated and
really
a layer,
thick.
yes, super, super, super thick.
Well, it's interesting because you'd think, why has she made them into balls? But that's how
that's how they get that crack. So
you don't have to flatten them?
No, they start to spread out on their own.
Oh, they do that on their own?
Yeah.
And does the sugar just stick to the rolled up dough like that on its own, or do you have to prep it?
Wet it or anything?
It looks like it's just sticking to it.
No, it's kind of a sticky dough anyways, and so it just sort of adheres to it. And then the combination of baking soda and baking powder makes it so that the cookie's going to rise and spread, and that's what causes all the cracks.
I always thought with these cookies that the sugar was put on afterwards, and I'm like, oh, someone sits there with a little brush so they don't get in the cracks.
So did I.
I would never make them if I had to do that.
But also, probably a good tip would be not to put too many on the cookie sheet because they spread.
They actually don't spread that much.
They don't?
No, they don't spread.
Goodness,
like I think it's like maybe an inch and a half, maybe between. Cookies.
So now we put these in the oven at what temperature for how long?
350 for 11 minutes.
That's just 11? Yeah, sure. Pop it in.
Pop it in.
Okay. There you go. Just 11 minutes, huh?
Just a quick 11 minutes, and then what we're gonna do? Oh,
That's okay, you're good. Yeah, it's not hot.
Ooh, yeah.
You've got very tough hands.
You're gonna want to let it cool on the baking sheet for about 5 minutes.
You can't eat them right out of the oven?
No, because they need to finish cooking a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You let them finish cooking out here. Is that a typical thing you do with cooking?
Well, that way you don't run the risk of like a hard and over-baked cookie.
Right.
So would that work with any cookie?
I mean, I do it with all my cookies.
You doing with all of them?
Yeah.
So underbake and then
I
just leave them a
underbake
few
and then I
minutes.
let them sit for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes.
And now you can't come here and talk about a cookie book and not take us, give us a little
Yes,
tour
please.
of some of your other stellar recipes here, some of your other cookies. Isn't that great, Deb?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So tell us about these guys right here.
So that's a pretzel caramel skillet cookie.
Is that
One huge
It's like
cookie?
it's
Do you
one
eat the whole
big
thing?
giant cookie. So you could, well, yeah, I mean, why not? That's in the.
That's incredible.
But so yeah, and then those are peanut butter cookies. One of my favorite things is to put salted roasted peanuts in there. Like
Little
it
salt.
gives it such good flavor. Don't go unsalted.
No.
No. And then those are hazelnut macarons.
Wow.
I bet those are amazing.
I love hazelnut mac.
I love
love hazelnut.
hazelnut.
I love chocolate. I love
Soup's like a
macarons.
I love macarons.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
gosh, will you
exactly
come
what
back
it's
and make
like.
those?
Yes.